Shami Sech the Meister Sheni, Dav Zayin, and all the Nishmat Gita was very much Chaim Yitzhak, Chaim Yitzhak. Chaim Reis about Gilda for Yishlaim, Ifki Mina, the Chai Yester for Yishlaim, I have done Ifki for Yishlaim, Nishmat Le Mother, I've been Abraham Yehuda. The Mishnah says, everybody say, that Hasemed actually Hichmet Ein Nilkach because of Meiser, Mishahichmet Nilkach because of Meiser. Semed, something which is made out of the shemorim of the yayin, until it ferments, it's not allowed to buy Meiser Sheni, this Semed. But Mishahichmet is Nilkach because of Meiser Sheni. It has a din of meaning Mozen, the Machel, after it's fermented. Before then, it's considered mayim, and mayim you can't buy with Meiser Sheni, you can't buy water. You have to bin to the machal. Baboka, batzoin, bayayin, bashecha, v'chol hashitav v'nafshecha. It has to be something which is immediately the Muslim. Before that, the Mishnah says, "Lekei behem elzifei shlomim, oichai lebisar taiva yotza oil lechulin." He purchases it with the mois of Meiser Sheni. He buys Zivchei Shlomim is Yotza Oil L'chulin. The oil is not part of the Shlomim, and that goes out L'chulin. He used the money of Meiser Sheni to buy a Shlomim. Is the oil goes out L'chulin, that doesn't stay in the din of Meiser Sheni because it's not part of the Shlomim. So he brought here the Mishnah Shayna. We spoke out this Mishnah Shayna. Ikke mitzvah pirish harav. Ikke mitzvah liknus behem. The opinion zeh shav sham sham. You can't cost a rosh. The mitzvah is to buy Meiser Sheni. The Shayna mashma. The mitzvah midraisahu mikoyach hach zeh shava. As always, mashma from the Rav. He learns out sham sham. You buy Meiser Sheni. You buy the kabbalah shlomim. Okay, behem zukay shlomim zukay Rav. Mois Meiser Sheni. Shkachu ikke mitzvahs mois Meiser Sheni. Liknus mehem shlomim. Yalfim sham sham like zeh shava meharevol. That's the mitzvah. The Einoi Kain, Dr. Mishnah Shayna, the Gzeir Shava Ein Elo, he's arguing. He says, Sinish richtig to sagen that it has a mitzvah to buy only Meiser Sheni, only Meinach Kotshim, Shlomim, El Shiyochel Liknes Behem Shlomim. It's permitted to buy Shlomim, Mishum Neshaka Bonas Choyve, Einen Boy Min HaMeiser, El Min HaChulim, Shlomim Mutter, Mekanis Yotin. Aber eine Mitzvah, kein Pirish Rashi behedji b'menachas dafei beis, zei shava hu sheyochel liknos, yochel liknos. Macht the dig, man can kaufen, nicht haben wir miskaufen, not as a mitzvah to do it, but they learned it up pshat. Kein kosev Rambam, mit Pirusha kan, el chom and God, shai. This we spoke out yesterday from the B'dor Salvation. He brings the Sifri to Beirav, and he makes over there machlokes in the Sifri, if it's a mitzvah or not. Which is interesting because it should be something like this. It should be in the Rishonim, not in the Sifri De'Rav, which is basically written by the Chasdei David, which is an early Achen. But that's what he says. So Akabom, you have a bunch of different shittas over here. If it's a mitzvah or not, there seems to be the Mishnah Rishonim is matchid is achas a mitzvah, and so on and so forth. But it's very interesting about it. He says, "Heintig Gemara." This Gemara, this shayla is mamash machlokes here in the Maroim, here in the Gemara. Let's take a look at the Gemara. Now the Pella, the Chazid Dover, the Dover Salvation doesn't bring the Gemara. But it's enough in the Gemara. Maybe I just didn't see it. Hasemed, let's see at the bottom of the Omid. Hasemed actually hichmitz. Hasemed, before it becomes chometz, before it ferments, this is what you make out of you pour water on the shemorim from the yayin, is until it ferments, it's water. Actually, you can't purchase semed with Meiser Sheni because it's not admitted the Muslim. Let's call it like that. The water passes the mikveh. Once it becomes chometz, in other words, it's fermenting and it has it's an alcoholic beverage. Nika bekesa Meiser. Now it's something which is not water. It's not water. You could use Meiser Sheni to purchase it. Any places a mikveh. Since Kavasa doesn't pass the mikveh. Any kinds of juices and all these things doesn't pass the mikveh. Look at Moshe. Semed. One line from the bottom. Gesin lechol zel el peikei demaisi ba'aloch gimel. Ad afilu mei melech for salt water. Nichim because of maisi. Even what this is a semed has like a alcoholic drink. It ferments. It becomes immediately. It could be even immediately meshacher, but it's a real drink with some kind of flavor to it. So that we say is something which is nikah because of maisi sheni. Ma'ashenken. Salzwasser, may mellow, you just put salt and water, I would think no. Look at that. So Mishnah says, I feel the may mellow, nichim because of Ma'aser b'shama foods. May mellow would it not pass the mikvah? So chin. Someone said to me, Afulda, Zog did Afulda, Asemet, Pirashti Lel. So you look at the Mishnah, what is the din with Semet? Look the Rashi. Semet, actually, Hichmet, Mayim Biamo. Until it doesn't become Chometz, it's water. We know you boy toys to liquid, Vasa Pasla Mikvah, Mayim Shuvim. Imu Chosa, Vinoflu boy, if the Mikvah Chosa means less than the Memsah, Vinoflu boy Mizeh, Shloish Lugim, Mayim Paslusa Mikvah, Pasla Mikvah, the matter of that is possible. Vein no you boy toys, Kichas Maisa. You can't buy mice. You can't use the mice. You can't buy with this mice geld. The beina pri mi pri. Not pri mi pri. You say boko b'tzoyin. Say the sat the kedel choshav dachim boko b'tzoyin. That's a pri mi pri. That's a rash in the Gemara. Aber mishe ichmet havi yayin. Oh, look to it's until he says actually ichmet. It's water. Mishe ichmet. What's now? It's havi yayin. It's not a different wine. We know you by Kichas Maisa, but any know you Psul Mikvah. Don't get different Psul Mikvah. I don't know what it means over here. Noyig, what's it? Noyig. Okay, but Al Kapam does look there. But it's not different from a yain, and it could be to buy Piagof Mashma. The pay come to Chulin and told you time of Behikmet, will I buy you? Yes, Mechdemi, those are good. Okay, so look the going, the left side. Isaac Yehuda, this is the Gemara weiter. The Oma Mesamed Chai b'Maisa, Mefurish Abavu, Kishahitmet, Sakadata, the Shovman, the Chai b'Maisa, Blikam because of Maisa. Size Maisa, it's Chai b'Maisa, meaning you have to take off Maisa Rishon, and it also has the Maisa Sheni, and you can use this to buy with Maisa Sheni money. But look the Gemara, Masnita de Yehuda. Masnita de Yehuda, look the plain Moshe, Hai Masnisin the Tani Mishaychmitz. Tayu Milsa, that this is totally when it becomes chometz. If it's a din that you can buy with a Ma'aser Shein or not, this is like Yehuda. Look the Rashi on the left side and the bottom. Mishaychmitz have a yain. So this is Yehuda. Okay, look yes the Gemara. You see the Yehuda, the Trin Tamon. But Doten gelernt. That's the Maises. Perikei Mishnah Zayin. Mesamed b'nosen ma'iyim b'midah b'motzi k'dei midosai is potter. What does that mean? Look, what if you have salmon, you put the water on top of the shmorim, and as much water as you put in, that's when you now becomes chometz. It's the same volume as before. K'dei midosai, it's potter. What says it's potter? Look, the potter meant asai. Potter for Meiser. That's the word. Potter for Meiser. Because it's what? Yehuda is Mechayev because now it's Mesamed. It's something else, an Ayazach, and an Ayazach is Mesamed. It's Mechuyev B'Maiser. Showing. Omer Abavu. So you see, this changes. When it comes Mesamed, it becomes a Zach. It becomes something which is no longer water. And then that's why it's Chayev B'Maiser. Before then, it's water. Water is Potter B'Maiser. Omer Abavu. Zinin Omer B'Shem Rebloza. Because look their memory in the number for Rebloza. V'zimnin omelahem b'shem Rabbi Yosi b'Chanina. Who shehichmitz? When do we say that it's something which is going to what? Doesn't pass the mikveh. You could buy Ma'aser Sheni. That something has to be shehichmitz. When it starts to ferment, as I stated in the Mishnah. Omer Rabbi Yosi divra kolhu. It's not only Rebloza. It's the divra kol. It's not only Rabbi Yosi b'Chanina. It's the divra kol has to be shehichmitz. Shekain afilu mei melech. This is what he brought before. Number Aleph, mei melech, even salt water. Nichim b'kesem ma'aser. Also, we could buy with kesem ma'aser. Oh, but I finish Mishechwitz. What does this mean? Look to the Pnei Moshe. Amar Bavu Kloima. The Amar Abavu Allah the Hichmetz who the pligi. It's only Machlokes is if it's Hichmetz. If you need Hichmetz or not. Look there. We came as listen the Ma'aser Sheni. Udechulin Kibuhu the Daise. Either Rabbanon Afila B'Shehichmetz. The Rabbanon say no. Even when it becomes Chometz, Lav Klumu. Achi Motze Yisra Akademi Dasa. If it's the same midah, what you put in is what you find. Nothing changed. It doesn't become more. It doesn't nisrabah. Halt Rabbanon is mechulk on him, and it's also he has still water. It stays water until it's nisrabah on the midah. It becomes more. That tells when it ferments, it expands, and then dafka then it's also. Before then it's not also. Look the menafulda. Shekain afilu mei melech nikhu mekesem ma'ashen. Even mei melech. Mei melech doesn't change the bracha. Before it's water, mei melech, we drink mei melech, it's also going to be a shackle. It's not going to be any kind of different bracha. Ma'ashen over here, you see over here by the Semed, has a dinner of all changes the bracha. And it could be takas, it's yain. Yain is a body priyagofen. But this, even mei melech, there's also nikhu mekesem ma'ashen. The kivin shehichmetz, once it starts to become hichmetz. What does it mean, hichmetz? Here it's talking about mei melech. It means it becomes salty. Kivin shehichmetz like gara mi mei melech. It's not worse than Mei Melech. That's not the same din mitigate to the Meiser. Why is it allowed to buy with the Meiser Sheni? Mishum the royal tibul. You make the bull. That's a say that you make the tibul. Mei Melech. So Mei Melech is something which has some kind of a flavor to it, some kind of a mitzvah. So that's allowed.
Separately not. Huh?
Was?
Each one separately not. Melech not and Mayim not. Together you could.
About it, yeah. Together you could. Yeah. Same thing by Semet. Semet is Shmorim, and it's water. Water by itself not. Shmorim by itself not.
Shmorim yain.
But together. Comes yain, yeah. So that's what he said. Afilu mei melech. Alakeya chayiv lezivchei shlomim. Said in the Mishnah, if you buy a chaya lezivchei shlomim, ubehem lebasat taiva leyotza lechulin. Oh, it doesn't go out lechulin because it's not chal l'shem zvachim. It doesn't become a shlomim if it's a chaya, and the behem for taiva basat taiva is not chal. So mele leyotza lechulin. Amar Blazer lo yikona ma'aser. He's saying like this: if you don't buy the shlomim, look at the blazer. It's not chal the kinyan. Loikana ma'aser, meaning the money doesn't go out l'chulin b'chlan. Nishna the oil doesn't go out l'chulin. Loikana ma'aser. The whole thing doesn't work. There's no kinyan on something which is not a blazer shlomim. Amar blazer look to Pnei Moshe. Loikana ma'aser. Oh, the tana liyosar l'chulin. This is what we say that the oil doesn't go out l'chulin and it lives in the kedusha, and you have to now sell the oil and buy payers because the oil is separately from the kinyan. Look, the Hainu she'ena b'toyres lotzes oil l'chulin. It doesn't have a din that how the oil should go out l'chulin. The fish lokach shleikona ha'ma'aser klal. You know why it doesn't go out? Not because he bought it separately, and it's not part of the deal to buy the oil. The bought is episandish shleikona ha'ma'aser klal. The ganze kinyan is not chal. If you bought something that has bosa, taiva, and oil. Not the pshat is the oil doesn't go out and the boss of taiva bleibt. No, the boss of taiva nishtok in kinyan. Shleikona ha'ma'aser klal ki depirashti b'masnisin. That's what we looked in the Mishnah. Yeah, that's looked in the Mishnah. Let's go back to the Mishnah. So in the Mishnah, the Pnei Moshe. Tamim chai, Gemar pligi, dikaman damal dafke chai b'shachad mut l'moichay, dikaman damal b'shachad. Maskal the tamim chai also l'moichay midraisa b'lo b'shachad. Emisai also t'mur shain. So he says this is what he means over here, in this piece over here, in the wide lines over here. Okay, I didn't pick it up when we learned it, but now he's saying over here, Nicht nur the pshat is the boss, the oil doesn't go out lechulin because the oil is not kotshim, it's not shlomim. But he says the boss also, if you buy the boss taiva, zokter blazer like kana meiser, nicht kana the way the meiser. Zokter mina fulda, Omer Rebbe Lozer. On the left side, in the narrow lines, like on a ma'isa, amasnisin koi diktonia, lekeya behem in the bosa taiva. Somebody uses the ma'isa sheni to buy bosa taiva. Bosa taiva means regular meat. Loyotza lechulin, the doesn't got lechulin. Omer Rebbe Lozer, like on a ma'isa, behem zu klal. Loytira atoya lika behem b'ma'isa sheni, ele shlomim, v'loy bosa taiva. That's Ulechein like on a ma'isa klal. The ma'isa not b'chal koine. But mois leyotza lechulin. The moed doesn't go out lechulin. Gunashitin. You only can buy bas shlomim. V'hod is not leyotza or lechulin. Why is it saying the Mishnah only talking about the oil? Ki even like on a ma'isa, without it's not going to ma'isa. Arei hakol chulin habasa ve'oil. I said in the Mishnah not the oil. No. Oter akash. But he's saying well, it's not leyotza or lechulin. Ki even like on a ma'isa. Arei hakol chulin. It means to say like this. About the bus doesn't go out lechulin. It's a kol shkein no doesn't go out lechulin. The ilu kona ha'maisa, if the bossa would be maisa, ayinu mekrivin ha'behema l'shlomim v'o yotz l'chulin. And the oil would go out l'chulin. The only reason it doesn't go out l'chulin because the bossa is not kind of the bossa. Ha'ashtid lo kona, ein the betoyes yitzias l'chulin. Nothing works, nothing happened there, like they say on Wall Street. Nothing done. It's good. The Kenya is not chal. And the mois buy maisa sheni money. Oil, finish behadyu l'bossa taiva, like Tofas boy Meister. If he said before he wants to buy a boss of Taiva, Mishkan Shlom the Gazar is like Yotze Klal. So this was Magazain Tumul Yasten from the Sefid Veirav, as a Machloikis in the Sefid Veirav, as a Masber Salavechik, machte Machloikis in the Sefid Veirav, because it's enough in the Gemara, like on the Meister. And this also that the Mishnah Nishoina is picking up this, and he says, what's his lotion again? Ike Rav Mitzvah Liknes Behem Yafinu Gzei Yishov V'Shom Shom V'Kikas Rosh and macht a ganze Machloikes davon. Aber eine Mitzvah sagt es nicht kein Mitzvah, kein Pirush Rashi Be'edim V'Noches, a Yochel, it's not a Mitzvah B'chlal. Das stimmt nicht mit der Blase. This appella that they don't bring the Yishalmi. The Yishalmi, the Machloikes is nicht nur the Sefid Ve'Rav. Was macht der Machloikes? Der Machloikes sagt the Yishalmi allein. Sie ist a Mitzvah zu kaufen Boss Shlomim mit dem Kedai Kach. If you don't do it, it's called the Kenyan B'chal, and the money is going to stay in Hegdish. It's Meister Sheni Hegdish. Meister is Kodesh. Kedusha Meister Sheni. It's not the Schalaf on the Bas Taiva Bichlal.
The Maripanim
picks it up. Yeah, but you know why? Because he goes always with the Rambam. Rambam doesn't bring this. Rambam brings this. But the Akabanim, this is even from the way the Rambam is learning, and Lashon HaGemara, Omer Rebbe Lozer like on a Meiser. It's kind of like a Meiser. That's the Ibid. Okay, we kind of say.
Well, he says that even though it says you're supposed to buy shlomim, but you're not allowed to say beferish that it's only shlomim.
Yeah, okay.
Say beferish only shlomim, then it's no good.
Don't forget.
Why not?
He's up to do it.
The people chalash seven of them. Can't say only shlomim.
Like on a Meister, but take a look here. Look at the balloon, take a bank, one can keep going. Have Gimel in the back. I'm going to like on a Meister. Hochi Itma Hai Milsa Bimnoch is Dafei Base. Yeah, the comment of Ami, das ist Mois gerade Gemara. Ein Echten, look at Ami, Hamatvis Mois Meister Sheni Lishlomim. Somebody takes money and he wants to take Meister Sheni on the Shlomim. It's like on the Shlomim. Also steht in der Rami. Was? The lo yulime kedusha shlome lemeichel a kedusha is ma'isheni. You can't be two kedushas, one on top of each other. As I alter Rami, the Ava gab in the mission not ma'isheni. The mission is noch ma'isheni. That does work. The Ava gab the stam mois ma'isel shlome. Stam mois ma'isel shlome. This is ma'isheni from the Mishnah. You also chulim, but the ma'isel behem is noch chayot. Kidatnina and the Masnis in the Yel. Oh, he's learning Pshat in the Mishnah. It's the Chiyachal. Och, hoyu she hit with beferish. She you dafke l'shlamim. Lo yikon l'shlamim. Chiddush nifla. But he said dafke l'shlamim. Then it's not chal. V'yachu hu liknes behem kol ma she yitze. don't know what this means. Everybody say, I mean, yeah, shlomim. He took the shlomim, and with the shlomim, he wants to now buy Ma'aser Sheni. So it's not Toifus' Domov. But Ma'aser Lo Ahoy Masdisen. Okay, Chaya. The Gemara affect the Chalayim for Chaya. Sakadat the Kohen Shlomim come. Ukahid the Yosi the Ochel the Ma'aser Avinu Aminin. Masig Lo the Mai Lo Yotza Oy Lechulin. The Tani Sheni B'Toy Lotzes Oy Lechulin. Mishum Lo Kohen Ma'aser. Because the Bloz of the Ochel. Shem Pasuk and Rambam. Okay. Ubin Shekosem Sham Loka Be'eim L'Shlomim Enough By Mayim. Boom. Okay. Okay, that's not what exactly he means over here. But the push the Hivif in the Gemara is like the Chmayna David and Raful Dozok, the Sinshkal, Pavos, Simizain the Shlom, Samitzit the Makal Shlom. Let's take a look at the Rash Tzirila. Loikona Maisa, Pavos and Shkoning in the Maisa because he made it the Shlom. Mishim der Blaza, Svilei Bepei Katoide, or the Matvis Moy, this is the Gemara from Rabami. The Matvis Moy is Maisa Sheni Shlom. He purchased with the Mois Ma'aser Sheni Shlomim, like on a Shlomim. That's a Rami Shita. What was the loyal Lime Kedusha Sayu the Mitzvah Ma'aser the Kedusha of Shlomim can't go on the Ma'aser. Zwei Kedushas. There's no complete with Zwei Kedushas. We don't find anywhere such a thing. Ubechinale effect of the Gemara of the Ma'ay Masnis and San Layotza Olachul Alme the Shlomim Koni Leilachaya. Given it with Shem, the Stoma Ledomi Koma. Mashma there is Chal. Both of them could be chal. The Wazak the Rami is not chal. They fight the Gemara alone. And for the Gemara, Mishani lo hosam, v'hit ma lo yotza l'chulin, eine b'toyri shlomim, lotzeis l'chulin. What's means eine b'toyri shlomim, lotzeis l'chulin? Pirish Rashi, v'lo chal lo, kedusha shlomim klal, sheyotze l'chulin. The kedusha shlomim is not chal, that the kedait are up to them and the kedusha from the oil, that's not shy because there's no din of shlomim on oil. Or not the shaychus the shlomim. My time, that was it. So you buy a shor licharisha, the loikana ma'aser. You take money and you want to buy a shor, so it depends. You want to buy a shor achila that's chal because it's basa batzayin. That's good. But if you buy a shor and you want to use the shor licharisha, that's not what the Torah allows you to do because that's not a machal. You're using it to work. It remains in the hands of the moicha. The moicha is still kedusha. It's not the schal. The chalta below the schayre. You're buying a cherisha. That's b'schayre, and you can't do that. Even by Ma'aser Sheni below the hefset, the shem Ma'aser Sheni can have the shem b'shvi. So bizarre. Behind the fashoch the blazer. What's the blazer? Shetach in the Mishnah Yotza or l'chul in the Tani loikana Ma'aser who the kama. Meaning gonish the shen. You're not going to this behemoth was not nicknamed. Not the oil doesn't go out l'chul and the behemoth bleibt kedusha's ma'aser. No, it's the gonish chal gewen. Nicht of the boss öffnish like on a ma'aser who the kama. Miton sefer v'yaged al v'yehu liyotze the meyo or biyad ha'moich l'chul. V'tzichen onu loima the bedin who the boy the misnei nami hochel like on a ma'aser. We could have sagen in the Mishnah that he's not going to the ma'aser. Agav reishi ton liyotze l'chul and ton sefer liyotze l'chul. Says it over again. Boy, the hachal loy ma'aser v'leishlam kanu shay. Akapoim the Rasirila is also learning that there's a mitzvah to do b'asar shlomim, and he didn't do it. He bought b'asar taiva. There's nothing schal. The ma'aser is no konach loy ma'aser. Pshut shel gemara. Who's it going? Omer Abloza on the right side, 4 lines from the top. Oh, this is being the top piece. Top piece is the gate of the semed. When it becomes chometz, you could use the semed. Even though when you get to not Ma'aser Sheni, talk about the Ma'aser itself, the Ma'aser Rishon. It's not a pri. So afraid that they're going, what do you tell me, semed? You could use semed for Ma'aser Sheni. You can't use it for Ma'aser Rishon. It's not pri. You don't make a boy pri on semed. No boy pri agoven. Even though the Gemara said before, you make it's yain. Aber doch nicht so lechayev, and this is the Biosi, lechayev b'ma'aser, aber lika b'kesef ma'aser sheni, legora mimei melech. Mei melech doch nicht kein pri. You can't make any brachas on mei melech, other than the shackle. The rak ma'im melech, and lika b'kesef ma'aser. Only what's excluded is only water and salt. But over here, when you have something which is mei melech, it's under the din. I don't know. He says amid the mason. Somehow, this is something which is not a problem. Huh? What?
It's the tibble.
Tibble, yeah. But they say, what's this tibble? Tibble, you might say, but Baka Batzayin get the nine tibble. They say they learn out from Erevin. By Erevin, it's amazing. Some kind of a sustenance it has to it. Okay, sure. Das ist eine Sache, that tellt up Meister Rishon for Meister Shein. Now he's saying, Omer Ablos, I'm a sneezing coil. Okay, behem the bus taiva, v'chai l'shlomim, l'yotza, or l'chulin. V'einoi maski b'masnisin, din shall call behem. The going here is very clear. Sometimes it's very short and it's very cryptic. You can't figure out what the going means. But here's a clue. The Mishnah steht what? Doesn't talk about the behem itself, just talks about the oil. You know what the pshat is in the basa or in the behem itself? The blazer, the kavanas masnisin, she'ene bedin yitzias oil lechulin. She'ene bedin yitzias oil lechulin. What does this mean? Mishum lekona ha'maisa kalal. There's no kinyan over here. The behem is also not nicknamed. V'im ha'moiche bi'ir botel mekach u'bim la'av azoi mechuy v'alekach. You gotta change it, take different money. Nothing done. He didn't buy anything because he didn't buy a bus of shlom. And it's not chal. Look the Gemara right in the middle of the Omer. Omer Rabbi Yosi, because the Ma'aser have been in modern. In the beginning, we used to learn. We learned how the Behem, the Ma'aser, the bus of Taiva, al kochoy nitvas Hashem l'shlomim. It is chal. I used to say that no, you bought Basa Taiva, not like a blazer. It is chal the kedushas Ma'aser Sheni on Basa Taiva. V'lo yavin in Amru klum min hadod the Omer blazer lekona Ma'aser. Doctor Favos, Doctor, we're holding away in the going. Let's finish the going. Azel Omer Rabbi Yosi should be showing rot to the fash masisen. Afapish pirish behem zul Basa Taiva. Even though he's purchasing a Basa Taiva, afapiken it's fastest l'shlomim. Rabbi Yosi is arguing on a blazer. Raki yochel b'kedusha shlomim. He has to eat it b'kedusha shlomim because the kedusha shlomim is chal. No, but then on the behaistis on the that's not chal. Aber ein b'deveim klum. Mishum Rabbi so Rabbi Yosi, that's what we used to do like that. After we heard the blazer, Mishum the blazer the Omer lekona ma'aser klal the dafka lekatchila tzarich likach l'shem basa shlomim. His mashman is only like a tchila, but never not. Rabbi Yosi Saba, according to behemoth the basa taiva, according to Ma'aser. He says that if you buy a behemoth for basa taiva, kona Ma'aser. What does it mean, kona Ma'aser? It becomes kona Ma'aser. It becomes Ma'aser. Upligia the blazer began with Rabbi Yosi dom benitvus Hashem l'shlomim el Saba the oichel oiser b'kedushas Ma'aser sheni k'mo yayin v'shem v'nepei. This is chal. If he's saying kona behemoth the basa taiva. Look at the May Rebuda Bevloda. The May is of a Ma'aser Sheni, Maman Gvaya, Paturim B'chayr. That's the dim. Paturim B'chayr. It's Kodesh. Rebuda Mechayev the B'chayr. He is Mechayev. I'm saying the Pshat, the Pnei Moshe in Rabbi Yosi. Zokt B'kamaiser. B'kamaiser, right in the middle of the narrow line. Havini Omen, Kloim B'tchila, you regil the Farash Lamasis B'kei B'hem the Ma'aser. Taiva, the bas taiva l'yotzel l'chulin, haynishu bal kocha nitvas Hashem l'shlomim, gam ala or. That's how we used to learn before. Chem l'kei chay l'zivchei shlomim, avgav deni rui l'akrover, chal Shem shlomim ala or. It is chal. V'tzorach l'moichem, v'likam b'dmeim shlomim, v'chein ha'yirim v'fashim b'tchila. Avalo yevin in Amrin klum, the aim, it's not true what we said. Why? The aim of masnisim mispasha came, v'kumay l'shmina, min adoda, v'avloda, ochikam l'ikona, ma'aser, he says no, on the boss is not chal, on the oil is nishchal. Ma'ashenken on the boss look to yochal, look to minafulda because the ma'aser b'shoyna yinisar b'lamish l'kei behem ferish l'boss taiva akochen fasel l'shem shlom. That he's laying alpha that he said he wants to buy it for boss taiva. B'bal to zab ma'aser sheni shlokei behem b'ferish l'boss taiva akochen fasel l'shem shlom. By default, it becomes it's Ma'aser Sheni Geld, Vetzes Hashem Shlom. So that's the Hashdom of Loz Lekona Ma'aser Klal. But yet, it's Zok that it's not Chal B'Klal. Chazanu Bono B'Sfira Lon. We hold now the Leitira. I tell you, Lika Bosa Type Mikasa Ma'aser Sheni. It's not permitted to buy Bosa Type Mikasa Ma'aser Sheni. El Shlomim Ukadam Maso. So what's the Toys? Toys is if he said he wants to do it for something else, B'Chal Nishchal B'Kinyan. But if he says he wants to use it for Ma'aser Sheni. For Shlomim, damals is chal, but nish is nish. So come to Chaysa boy side. The Dusam Gezukt has a mitzvah to buy with Ma'aser Sheni, mitzvah to buy Shlomim. Das ist eine offene Schitte für Rebbe Lozer. So, man sagt, mit der Lozer, mit der Jöis. Da geht es.